Hey guys, welcome back to the Financial Freedom Channel. Thanks so much for being here. So today I want to talk about Bitcoin. And the big question is, will Bitcoin crash in 2018? I have a very clear answer to that. Yes, Bitcoin will crash in 2018. I'll tell you how I know. It already has. So let's talk about what a crash is. So back in 2000, the tech bubble, the S&P 500, the index fund of the top 500 companies in the US, the largest 500 companies in the US, the S&P 500 dropped 48% from the peak down to the bottom in the tech bubble. Now in 2008, you guys, I'm sure all remember the financial crisis. The S&P 500 in the financial crisis dropped 56%. So these are 48%, 56%. These are huge crashes. These were catastrophic financial events here. So Bitcoin, back in December 17th last year, 2017, Bitcoin was almost at $20,000 per Bitcoin. At the bottom in February 6th of this year, 2018, Bitcoin dipped below 6,000. Now that's a drop of 70%. Bitcoin crashed 70% from the end of last year till early February this year. That is a big time crash. In fact, in the last 5 years, starting March 2013, Bitcoin has crashed 3 times, more than 50%. So let's see, when was that? Back in April of 2013, Bitcoin dropped 83% from high to low. From the end of 2013 to 2015, Bitcoin dropped 87%. That is a massive crash, guys. And here's what I want to point out. People talk about Bitcoin and crypto like it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, it's all going to come crashing down. Now, when a scam or a pyramid scheme crashes, it goes to zero, guys. It goes to zero. There's no value. Everyone understands after it crashes that there was never any value. It was all, pipe dreams. So when people tell me, oh, Bitcoin is in a bubble, it's going to go to zero, Bitcoin has been around since 2009. It's been around for 9 years now. And it has continually crashed, and it's continually bounced back. So if I had bought Bitcoin 5 years ago, price 5 years ago, March 7th, was $41. If I had bought Bitcoin at $41 5 years ago, the price today is $9,965. If I had bought 5 years ago, that's a 243 times return on my Bitcoin through 3 crashes. 83%, 87%, 70%. Even with 3 crashes, I'm up 243 times on my money. That's a tripling of my money every year for 5 years. That's an astounding return. So I just want to point out, guys, that Bitcoin can crash repeatedly and you can still make a ton of money. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm not saying you should go out and buy Bitcoin. You should go out and buy Ethereum right now. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that there's real value here. And I think in terms of growing wealth into the future, this is something I think everyone should start learning as much as they can about. Blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, crypto assets. Especially for younger people, I think it's going to change the world. Blockchain technology, particularly. Bitcoin might disappear, Ethereum might disappear. As these banks and governments develop their own cryptocurrencies, it's not clear who's going to win, but blockchain is here to stay. So I would encourage everyone to start learning as much as they can about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Now, I want to mention Peter Thiel. He wrote a book called 0 to 1. Peter Thiel was the co-founder of PayPal with Elon Musk. He's a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley, really smart guy when it comes to tech. A couple months ago, he was doing a talk somewhere in the Middle East, and he was talking about Bitcoin, and he thinks people are underestimating Bitcoin. You know, granted, when he was talking about this, it was back in, I think, October 2017, so Bitcoin was, I don't know, maybe around $4,000, $5,000 a Bitcoin. Now it's about twice that. But he had some interesting things to say about Bitcoin. So he sees Bitcoin as a reserve form of money, like gold. So he doesn't see it as a currency. He sees it as a store of value. Right now, there's $166 billion worth of Bitcoin in existence. Now, if we compare that to gold, there's $9 trillion worth of gold in the world. So, you know, 166 billion Bitcoin, 9 trillion gold. You know, if Bitcoin as this digital gold can, you know, make up a little bit more of that market over time, there's a huge potential. You know, if people start treating Bitcoin as the cyber equivalent of gold, there's a lot of room to grow here, guys. So I thought that was an interesting comment. And then somebody asked Peter Thiel, you know, what is Bitcoin based on? Like, okay, the dollar is backed by the trust of the U.S. government, the Treasury. He said, well, Bitcoin is based on the security of the math behind it. You know, it can't be diluted by government. It can't be hacked. It's quite secure. And it's actually harder to mine than gold is. So there's a scarcity associated with Bitcoin. So those, you know, I found those to be very interesting points. So again, guys, I really encourage you to learn as much as you can about Bitcoin, blockchain technology, Ethereum, things like that. Some resources that I'm using. There's a YouTube channel called Coin Mastery. And every day the guy puts out a video. It's like a half-hour video, kind of talking about what's happening in the crypto world that day. Goes through the news, looks at Bitcoin charts. He does some technical analysis, which I'm not a huge proponent of technical analysis. I'm more of a value investor. But I've found, you know, someone else recommended him, and I've found him to be quite informative. There's a podcast by Kevin Rose called Block Zero. I would highly recommend that. He's had, I think, about 6 podcast episodes with, you know, creators of different coins. I think, you know, he had someone from Zen Coin, Stellar. You know, these people who are really, I mean, they're in the heart of the technology behind blockchain, and some really interesting interviews there. So I'd highly recommend to check that out. And the last one, check out this book, Crypto Assets, The Innovative Investor's Guide to Bitcoin and Beyond. This is a fantastic book, kind of breaking down all things crypto. So I'd highly recommend that one. And then again, not financial advice, but I would highly recommend to just get involved with this. Buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Again, not advice, but do it. Buy Bitcoin. You can buy any amount of Bitcoin. You can buy $10. You know, some people think, oh, if I'm going to buy Bitcoin, I have to buy a whole Bitcoin. I'm not going to put 10,000 into Bitcoin. You don't have to do that. You can buy fractions of Bitcoin. So you can put $10 in Bitcoin, $10 in Ethereum, just something to get yourself started. Because once you have a little money in it, you're going to be a lot more motivated to, you know, learn about it. Start listening to these podcasts, reading these books, really explore the technology. So anyway, that's the intro episode here around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I'll have a few more of these for you guys. If there's anything specific you want to know about cryptos or blockchain, leave a comment and hit that subscribe button too so you don't miss any future videos. And again, thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you soon.